If you're listening to this, it's not by accident. You were guided here, and I know why. Because somewhere deep within you, there's a quiet ache, not just for love, but for recognition, for someone to see you fully, to meet your soul, and know without hesitation that you are the one they've searched for in faces that never felt quite right, the one their heart has whispered about in quiet moments, the one their spirit has been drawing them to all along. But here is what most forget. You don't attract what you want by waiting or wishing. You attract what you are. And right now, there's a version of you, glowing grounded, magnetic beyond measure. The version of you who walks in the feeling of already being loved, already being chosen, already being cherished beyond words. They're not chasing because they don't need to. Love arrives in their world like breath, constant, natural, inevitable. You don't need to chase either. You were never meant to. The moment you assume the feeling of being loved, you summon a reality where someone is already running toward you. You shift dimensions, not with action, but with being. The you who is already adored, already whispered about in someone else's mind. That version exists right now. And as you listen, as you breathe into this truth, you begin to merge with them. There is no separation. Your inner world is the only cause. You are not waiting on a message, a call, or a sign. You are sending out a silent signal with every belief you hold about yourself. And today something changes. You no longer beg to be seen. You realize you were made to be unforgettable. You don't try to be chosen. You rest in the knowing that you already are. And in this inner knowing, the outer shifts. Because the moment you fall in love with the idea that you are already loved, love starts to fall toward you. People feel it. They may not understand why, but they'll be pulled, drawn in, charmed, obsessed. This isn't manipulation. This is alignment. This is what happens when your inner state matches your deepest desire. You become the magnet, not by force, but by truth. So breathe deeply. Feel the warmth of being wanted. Not someday, but now. Imagine the way their eyes would soften the moment they see you. Imagine the way your presence makes them nervous, excited, awake. Imagine the way they remember everything you say, the way they think about you when they don't mean to, the way they dream of you when they sleep, and now know it's done. They already feel you. You already exist in their thoughts, and you don't have to prove anything to be worthy of that. The love that is yours, by right of your existence, is already unfolding. From this moment forward, everything changes because you have, can you feel it? That subtle shift in the air around you, that quiet certainty blooming inside your chest. That's not imagination, it's remembrance. It's the soul recalling what the mind forgot. You were never meant to doubt your worth. You were never meant to question your place in someone's heart. You were made to be chosen, effortlessly, joyfully, undeniably. And now, the moment you fully accept that, your entire world rearranges. You don't need to wait to be seen. You don't need to prove, chase, or convince anyone. Because when you become the version of yourself who is already loved, already admired, already spoken about with reverence, you send out an invisible signal that echoes louder than words. The people who were meant to find you, they start looking harder. They feel your shift even if they don't understand it. Suddenly they can't stop thinking about you. They wonder what you're doing, why they miss you, why no one else compares. But you stay still, rooted in your knowing, because now you've remembered the sacred truth. Neville taught, imagining creates reality. And you're imagining from the end. You're no longer pretending to be loved. You're feeling it. Right now, in this breath, in this heartbeat, you walk like someone adored. You speak like someone treasured. You rest like someone wrapped in the arms of love itself. And as you become that completely and without apology, your entire vibration changes. You move from lack to fullness, from craving to contentment, from wanting to embodying. And in this inner silence, the outer begins to stir. They notice the glow in your eyes, the calm in your voice, the depth in your presence. You feel unreachable, not because you're distant, but because you're no longer hungry for validation. You've become rare. And it is in that rarity that obsession begins. That's when they start chasing, not because of something you did, but because of who you've become. You've returned to your truest self, and that self is magnetic beyond reason. You are not here to beg. You are not here to prove your worth to someone too blind to see it. You are here to become so aligned with your own power, your own beauty, your own inner richness, that the right people feel blessed just to know you. That's not arrogance. That's divine remembrance. And if these words feel like something you've longed to hear, if something deep in you is awakening, then know this: you've found a space that speaks your language, a home for your soul's knowing. Subscribe to Ignis Mindset and walk this path with us. You're not alone in this anymore. You are remembered. You are becoming. And you are about to experience what happens when the inner shift is so powerful, the outside world can't help but mirror it. And now, beloved soul, close your eyes. Just for a moment. Not to escape the world, but to return to where everything real begins. Let's not seek anything. Let's become it. Feel the warmth of someone reaching for you, not out of desperation, but desire. Feel the way they lean in, mesmerized by the calm in your gaze, the peace in your silence, the pull of your energy. Let it be vivid. Let it be sacred. This is not fantasy. This is formation. You are building the bridge between your inner knowing and your outer experience. Neville always said, assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. So what would it feel like if they were already yours? If they woke up thinking about you, drawn by a force they couldn't name, missing your essence, craving your presence, and not because you pushed, but because you became still, because you surrendered the needing and anchored into being. Right now, you are walking as the one they can't stop searching for. And that, my love, is where the chase begins. You see, we've been taught the desire must be earned, that love must be chased. But what if that was the great forgetting? What if all this time, the only thing you ever needed was permission to remember who you are, that you were always the one meant to be adored, that your very presence was a prayer answered, that your worth was never up for negotiation? The moment you decide that, and not just say it, but truly claim it, everything changes. They sense it. They feel the shift. Your silence grows louder than your words ever could. Because now you don't wait for love, you radiate it. You don't seek validation, you exude certainty. You don't beg for attention, you become unforgettable. Let them wonder where you went. Let them feel the space your energy used to fill. Let them come to the quiet realization that no one touches their soul like you did. Not because of effort, but because of alignment. And here's the beauty. You don't need to control how or when it happens. That's not your job. Your only role is to return to the end, again and again, until it's the only home you know. And when you do, when you live from that end, with love already yours, with connection already sealed, the unseen begins to move. Circumstances shift. Messages appear. People show up. You didn't chase them. You attracted the mirror of who you became. Let that truth settle deep. You never needed to fight for love. You only needed to remember that love was always waiting for you to see yourself clearly. Let them chase. Let them feel the pull. Not because you changed who you are, but because you finally stopped hiding it. There's a quiet power in someone who knows they are chosen not by another person, but by their own soul. And you have remembered that power. You stopped begging life to give you scraps of attention and started becoming the one who chooses. Not out of pride, but out of presence. They feel it now, don't they? That shift, that silence, that glow that doesn't come from trying harder, but from resting deeper. You walk differently. You don't text in fear or wonder if they're thinking about you because you know the one meant for you is already reaching, already imagining, already magnetized by the you who stopped trying to convince and simply began to exist fully. Neville once said, change your conception of yourself and you will automatically change the world in which you live. So you did. You let go of the anxious version of you, the one who waited for signs and obsessed over replies, and you stepped into the you who is already loved, already enough, already the flame they can't look away from. There's a version of them, right now, waking up in a reality where your face won't leave their thoughts. Not because of manipulation, but resonance. You've become a spiritual echo in their heart, and they don't even understand why. You didn't chase, you chose. You chose to feel it now, to become it now, to move from how do I get them to want me to how does it feel now that they already do. That shift is the only shift that matters. And maybe somewhere inside you've always known. Maybe that's why you were guided here. Maybe you've been tired of chasing, tired of proving, tired of performing. And now you're finally remembering the truth. You are not an option. You are the answer. You are not waiting to be chosen. You are the choosing itself. So breathe. And when you breathe, feel them. Not just a fantasy, but the reality of what it feels like to be so deeply cherished, so completely admired, so gently pursued, because your energy no longer begs, it blesses. This is your new normal. Let it be familiar. And if these words are lighting something inside you, if you feel seen and remembered and awakened, then know this space was made for you. Subscribe to Ignis Mindset and walk this remembering with us, because you're not alone anymore. Feel how different it is when you're no longer trying to manifest them, but allowing them. There's no desperation in your presence now, only quiet certainty. You become the living proof of your assumption, and now the world must rise to meet you there. This is the essence Neville spoke of. Live as though it were already true, and you have, not just in imagination, but in vibration, in breath, in how you move through the day with this invisible crown of knowing resting gently on your head. You no longer rehearse their arrival, you rejoice in it. They think of you now, not because you forced a thought, but because your energy lingers, because your self-image is too powerful to ignore. You've become a feeling they can't shake, and the mystery draws them closer. And here's the truth most miss. It's not about obsession or control. It's about harmony. The deeper you fall in love with the wholeness of your own presence, the more irresistible you become. You are no longer a mirror seeking validation. You are the light, and they are drawn to it. You don't chase butterflies. You cultivate the garden, and they come. There's no need to check your phone or reread messages for hidden meaning. The meaning is clear. Your assumption is law. The moment you moved inward and said, I am already loved, the scene was set. Feel it again now, not as a wish, but as a memory. You walk into a room and they light up, not just because of how you look, but because of how you feel. You feel like home. You feel like certainty in a world of confusion, and they cannot look away. Do you see it now? You never needed to become more. You simply needed to stop forgetting who you already were. You've awakened a deeper presence within you, one that doesn't hope but knows, one that doesn't wait but lives. And in that state, your person begins to orbit you naturally. They chase because you've stopped chasing. They call because your silence now feels sacred. They long because you've remembered your worth. This is the hidden rampage Neville hinted at, the sacred transformation, not done with noise but with stillness. You turned inward, and the world bent to your new shape. You're no longer scripting the scene, you are the scene. You've become the experience they crave. And if your soul feels this, if something inside you has softened, stilled, or awakened, then know this space is not just a channel. It's a sanctuary. Subscribe to Ignis Mindset and stay in the frequency of your own becoming. You are magnetic now, and they already feel it. They may not understand why they think of you so often now. They may not be able to explain the way your name echoes in their mind, or how your presence stirs something deep inside them, even in your absence. But you do. You understand the unseen laws that govern this dance. You understand that when you assumed the end, when you felt the reality of being loved, chosen, cherished, you lit a fire in the unseen, and that fire now burns in their heart. They scroll past dozens, but pause at your photo. They hear a song, and it tastes like your memory. They wake up thinking of you, and it feels involuntary, because it is. This is not manipulation. This is alignment. You didn't force them to chase. You became the version of yourself who no longer needs to be pursued. And in that sacred stillness, you became irresistible. You're not waiting for love anymore. You're living it. You carry yourself like someone who knows they are already chosen, not because someone said it, but because your own inner voice whispered, "You are enough," and always were. And now the outer reflects the inner. Let that truth wash over you. Let it settle into your bones. There is nothing more to do, nothing to force, nothing to prove. You don't need to post for attention or wonder if they saw your story. The one who sees you already sees you within. You are not chasing, you are attracting. You are not hoping, you are remembering. You are not seeking, you are revealing. And they are awakening. Their heart knows something has shifted. Their soul is leaning in. And soon, very soon, their actions will align with the pull they feel. Not because you made them, but because your vibration called them. This is the secret Neville wanted us to understand. The outer always moves in harmony with the inner, not immediately, not loudly, but faithfully, inevitably. And when it arrives, when the message comes, when the eyes lock again, when the moment unfolds as if scripted from a dream, you won't be surprised. You'll smile gently because you already lived it. You already loved it. You already felt it. And now it's simply catching up to you. So rest, beloved soul, not because it's over, but because it's done. And in the stillness of your knowing, they are already on their way. And if your heart remembers what it just heard, then you've always belonged here. Subscribe to Ignis Mindset and return to who you truly are. And now, you walk differently, not with arrogance, but with quiet knowing. A grace that cannot be faked, a presence that makes others pause, not because of what you wear or say, but because of what you radiate. You are no longer the version of yourself that used to wonder, when will they notice me? Now you gently breathe into the truth. They already do. You see, when you shifted within, when you began to feel, truly feel, what it means to be loved without effort, without question, something in the fabric of reality bent in your favor. The signal you now emit is unmistakable. It doesn't shout, it whispers straight to their soul, "I am here, I have always been here." And something inside them listens, even if they don't yet understand what they're hearing. They start feeling drawn, magnetized, curious in a way they can't explain. They try to shake the thought of you, but it returns. Softer, louder, deeper, like a song that gets stuck in the heart instead of the mind. That's the echo of your assumption at work. The world around you, the texts, the encounters, the energy begins to mold itself around your new identity. Because your assumption is the cause. Because what you believe and feel to be true within becomes undeniable without. You no longer need to check if it's working. You feel it in your breath, in your posture, in the peace that fills your chest when you close your eyes. This is not about control. It's about surrendering to the power that has always lived in you. And when the message comes, when they reach out or return or confess what they tried to deny, you won't need a script. You'll already be living from the end you once imagined. And it will feel so natural, so divinely timed you'll wonder how you ever doubted it. There is a version of you who has always been loved, always been wanted, always been chosen. That version is not a fantasy. It's you now. And the moment you decide to feel from that place, the world rearranges to match it. So breathe it in. The love you imagined is real. The connection you felt wasn't a wish, it was a preview. And the pull they feel toward you now, it's only the beginning. Feel the quiet power in this moment, the stillness before the next wave of your life unfolds. You are no longer waiting for love to find you. You have become the source of it, the living embodiment of your own deepest desire. Imagine the gentle smile that crosses your face as you realize love is not something you chase or earn, but something you simply are. This knowing settles like a soft fire within your chest, warming every doubt, every old fear, until they dissolve completely. The soul that is seeking you is already traveling through the unseen, pulled by the truth you carry silently but powerfully. It's as if your very essence sends a subtle invitation that only their heart can hear, a sacred call across the quiet spaces between you. There is no rush, no desperation in this dance. It moves with a sacred rhythm, guided by the unseen hands of your own imagining. When Neville said live from the end, he was not speaking of impatience, but of deep, serene certainty. To live as though your wish is already fulfilled is to embody the love you desire, to move through each day wrapped in the feeling of arrival. The universe, or the reality your consciousness shapes, has no choice but to reflect this inner truth back to you. Your inner world, rich with conviction and feeling, is the only cause. All external forms are but shadows cast by your invisible hand. Now gently close your eyes and feel yourself stepping into that version of you who holds hands with love every morning. Notice how your heart beats with a steady, unwavering confidence. You are loved, you are desired. The energy you radiate pulls others like a magnet, but it is not a frantic pull. It is a sacred magnetism, pure and unshakable. You become a beacon of belonging, a lighthouse guiding the lost ship home. And those who come to you do so because they recognize this truth in you, even if only unconsciously. If these words resonate deeply in your soul, know this space is made for you. Subscribe to Ignis Mindset and walk this journey with us. Together, we will explore the mysteries of your inner world and illuminate the path where your desires and reality meet. Here you are seen, here you are chosen. So breathe again, knowing that this quiet power within you is your truest guide. The chase you once feared transforms now into a dance of mutual recognition, effortless, natural, divine. You are no longer the seeker, but the source. And as your inner world flourishes with the feeling of the wish fulfilled, watch how everything around you begins to bloom in response. In this sacred space, every thought, every feeling, every imagined scene is a seed. Plant them wisely, water them with belief, and the harvest will astonish even your wildest dreams. Now let your imagination soar beyond the boundaries of what you thought possible. Feel yourself standing at the edge of a new reality, where the invisible threads of your desires have already been woven into the fabric of your life. This is the power Neville Goddard spoke of, that your inner world, rich with the feeling of your wish fulfilled, is the only reality that truly matters. The outer world bends and shifts, responding faithfully to the conviction you hold deep within. Picture it now, the eyes of your soulmate meeting yours, filled with wonder and recognition, as if the universe itself conspired to bring you together. This meeting is not a chance encounter, but a divine appointment, scripted by the belief you nurture quietly and consistently. Remember, your feeling is the creative force. When you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you do more than imagine. You inhabit a new truth. It is as if you step through an unseen doorway into a space where love flows freely and effortlessly. You don't chase, you attract. You don't hope, you know. Your heart beats with the steady rhythm of someone who has arrived. The soul that is destined to find you senses this shift and is drawn in irresistibly, as if by the pulse of your own becoming. You are more than the sum of your past doubts and fears. You are a living, breathing magnet of love, radiating a frequency so potent it calls to the deepest parts of another's being. The chase that once consumed you transforms into a sacred dance of mutual desire and recognition. This is not about control or manipulation, but about alignment, a coming together that feels like a homecoming for two souls long separated. As you embody this reality, you will notice subtle signs, moments of synchronicity, and a growing ease in your interactions. These are the blessings of your inner work manifesting outwardly. If this message stirs something profound within you, if your heart feels the resonance of these words, I invite you to join this community of seekers and believers. Subscribe to Ignis Mindset, and together we will walk this path of transformation, empowerment, and sacred manifestation. Here, your story matters. Here, your truth is honored. Take a moment to feel gratitude for the unseen hands guiding you, for the silent forces shaping your reality. Trust that every moment you spend nurturing this feeling, living from the end, is a step closer to the love you desire. This is the spiritual law at work, invisible, powerful, inevitable. As you rest in this knowing, allow yourself to feel peace, joy, and anticipation. Your soulmate is coming, drawn not by chance but by the magnetism of your belief and feeling. So as this chapter closes, hold tight to this sacred flame within. You are no longer waiting. You are creating. You are no longer wondering. You are knowing. And with every breath, you move closer to the love story written in your soul. Feel the quiet strength that now pulses through your entire being, as if a divine melody plays softly beneath your skin, a song of certainty, belonging, and radiant love. You have stepped beyond the realm of wishing and hoping, into the sacred space where your desire already lives, vibrant and alive within you. This is where Neville's truth rests, that the feeling of the wish fulfilled is not just an exercise, but the very essence of creation. You are the artist, the dreamer, and the canvas all at once. With each breath, you paint the masterpiece of your future with colors drawn from your own soul's deepest longing. Imagine now the moment when your soulmate sees you, truly sees you, not just the image, but the radiant life force behind your eyes. This recognition is electric, a silent conversation of souls that says, I have found my home. It is the inevitable outcome of your inner work, your faithful assumption, your unwavering belief. You have lived from the end, and in doing so, you have aligned your entire existence with the love that was always meant to be yours. There is no need to chase, no space for doubt. The chase is replaced by a magnetic pull, a natural attraction born of your vibrational harmony. Your inner world is the only cause, and it has woven an unbreakable thread that connects you to your beloved. This thread is sacred, invisible to others, but undeniable to you, felt in the gentle whisper of your heart, in the warmth that fills your chest whenever you think of them. If your heart remembers this truth, if it stirs a quiet knowing within you, then you have always belonged here, in this space of infinite possibility and unconditional love. Subscribe to Ignis Mindset to continue this journey with us, to nourish this sacred flame, and to live every day as the fulfilled, radiant being you truly are. Let this moment be your sanctuary, your source of strength and peace. The path ahead is luminous, guided by the unshakable certainty that what you have imagined, what you have felt as real, is now unfolding in the fabric of your life. Walk forward with grace, with love, and with the profound knowing that you are deeply seen, deeply loved, and deeply chosen.